Hello, hello, hello. So yeah, that's a little bit of a jingle that we've made for the stage channel that we've been going with for a while now. This is the third one, which is awesome. And so yeah, let's get into the conversation right away.
Hey, I'm Draco, obviously. Uh, I'm a moderator on the Discord server. I usually just ban the bad people, and yeah, I'm super hyped for ClashMini, and I'm excited for the stage channel.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Andy. You might have seen me roaming around in general and off topic, and once or twice in mini answers. Yeah, I'm the game designer for ClashMini.
Everyone, I'm Trikshot. I am an admin here. I do admin things, help keep the server running, get everything.
What happened was it just got flooded with questions, the same questions over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good at the beginning. People sort of I'd say for like 2 or 3 days, people kept to the original design, and then it just like spiraled out of control.
But it ended up being like 95% noise and 5% actual questions. Sweet. Andy, how was your experience with challenge coin discussion?
Oh, I mean, I think the challenge coin discussion with the community has actually been one of the most positive interactions I've had with it. It's been absolutely invaluable in terms of getting their feedback.
It's not just about like, oh, here's a pretty picture, take a look at it and don't say anything about it. It's about actually tell us how you feel about it, and then we will address if there is something going on. A perfect example actually of it was that Barbarian King actually performing his battle shout, where he basically his super, where he buffs damage of all the minis around him. And once he did it, he kind of switched the target and he started hitting somebody else. And so people were like, "Hey, wait, what? Like, why is he switching the target now? He didn't finish off the original mini that he was fighting." And that was actually a really good point. So then I went to our engineer and I asked him, like, "Is this intended behavior?" And then they started investigating it and behind all of this content, because it does give us the opportunity to fix some things that before we get the game to a playable stage. And so yeah, that's another example of a really, really good interaction.
So I think at the moment
13 people.
there's about
my guess.
15 or 16 people working full
So
time on the
close.
game. But the core team is 15 people. And what we have currently is we do have bots in the game. So we do have bots, and we will use the bots fairly liberally when it's at the lower ranks. And the bot is actually advanced enough as well, so that it can get a lot better, and it can get matched very
I'm gonna get
accurately
destroyed by a bot in beta. Watch.
the skill
gonna
level
happen.
is for the different leagues. So we will need to tweak it quite a lot, so that we figure out what those levels are supposed to be, and there will be a bit of experimentation with that during beta. But there's also the additional problems. Like we've created some of our own worst problems, I would say, in that we're going to launch with 2 modes, and those 2 modes are kind of drastically different in terms of how you do matchmaking.
Yeah.
When you do a 1v1 mode, you're really, really, really focused on accuracy of fairness. One of the mitigating factors is the fact that your deck power is dictated by almost entirely by your minis. And that means that we'll be looking for opponents based on the player level as well. And we'll reveal a little bit more about how player level works in relation to your progression. But essentially, the two are tied together so that the more powerful you get, the higher your level will be. And that will mean that players of a similar power level can be matched against each other. And we also take win rate into consideration. We'll take how many losses you have in your recent games into consideration, and obviously availability of other real players, and how much time it's taking for you to get a match. So we have a lot of flex with the Rumble mode in terms of how we do matchmaking, so that you get a good competitive match in a fair amount of time, and you have a chance. And because it's like top 4 start winning things, you can always feel like you made progress, even if you just hit the top 4. That like at the top at Legend and at the higher leagues, we will probably extend matchmaking time, so that we were almost trying to guarantee that players will play against other players. So we're going to be extending the matchmaking time, and being a little more strict on how many bots we use, which would be very, very, very few, if needed at all, and trying as hard as possible to get players.
When we're talking about longer matchmaking, are we talking about the old Clash of Clans Legend League matchmaking time, or?
We'll try. If we think it's being unreasonable, and we can just put in a legendary bot as well.
Yeah.
We can make it super hard for you. Not necessarily the best thing for me. So I kind of feel like there's maybe a responsibility to not limit, but just not allow for absolute extremities to happen in terms of how much competitive play you're going to play in, or how much even of ClashMini you're going to play in a day. I think we actually have a responsibility as developers to, not allow people to overdo it. Now, that is a bit of a double-edged sword, because people want to have no restrictions whatsoever when playing the game. So there may be a breaking point at which we just concede that, okay, we're just going to make it infinite with the challenge coins, and we kind of have already conceded that, if you are skilled and if you get this win streak thing, you will be able to get infinite coins in a day. So all you got to do is keep winning. But it's going to be impossible to have 100% win rate all the time. So yeah, it's going to mean that you're going to run out of coins eventually, hopefully. The flip side of it was ClashMini was definitely trying to expand a little bit of the audience to capture a wider group, so that we can get, non-competitive players to come in and just enjoy the art style, enjoy the game, enjoy the collection, just enjoy the game itself, because it's a fairly straightforward game if you want to play it just for fun. What we're planning to do is we're planning to have clans, mini clans, and the usual clan features, clan chat, all that kind of stuff. But we'd also love to give some gameplay that goes with clans, so that you actually have a purpose to play with all of your clanmates. So this is actually a great question coming after the challenge coin part, because if there is going to be infinite competition or infinite playability and replayability in ClashMini, I would really, really love it to be in the most social part of the game possible, which is clans. So that's the thing we're driving, that we're driving for. One of the major updates post launch is going to try and give you that clan experience plus the gameplay. Whether they happen at the same time in the same update is about how well the beta launch goes.
Speaking of, we've just opened up our subreddit. So that is, and so go nuts. It's r/ClashMini.
And if you have a big theory you want to talk about, or something that you've been thinking about, or you found something cool in a mini minute or in one of Frame's sneak peeks, that's where you post something on the subreddit to gather some discussion and have kind of like a thread type post. So welcome to the subreddit. Glad we can open it. Hopefully everyone has lots of fun, and give us any feedback that you might have.
Yeah, I definitely think that knowledge, you touched on it there with knowing the minis. Knowledge is the absolute top priority, I would
power.
Say. And that bleeds into deck building, it bleeds into positioning, and your understanding of how the game actually works. So it's about knowledge and knowing how the dynamics of the rounds work, how you should be placing your minis, which minis to even take, and then which upgrades to pick while you're playing. So Clash Royale has a very deep and complicated system for how they give chests. The chests in ClashMini are super, super straightforward. You get a chest, you open it straight away. When you get the chest, maybe 4 different chest classifications. So there's like mini hero chest, mini chest, currency chest, and I guess I can just let the cat out of the bag. There is a skin chest as well. Like in the tutorial, we will give you a choice between which hero you start with, and the decks will be different based on which hero you start with, and you'll unlock, I'd say within your first 20 minutes playing the game, you'll unlock maybe 5-6 additional minis that you can try out and play.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that, and also your first choice is not really the end of the world. Obviously, you would be able to unlock those heroes later as well, so it's all good.
there will be a certain point every day in ClashMini where it will no longer be as worth it to keep playing, and you probably won't be earning anything. So you'll have a set amount of rewards that you can collect within a day, and if you play all your matches, if you play enough matches, you'll get all those rewards, and you can play the competitive stuff for a lot longer, I would say. And if you really want to max out your competitive aspect, you can play a lot of challenge coin matches and ranked matches. Probably within 10 games, you'll get the most of your progression within like 10 games per day.
I'm personally a huge fan of what Browster does, because they don't also have timers, right? Like you can play as many matches as you want in a day. But there is again the diminishing returns. There is like you can complete all the quests, you can claim all your stuff, and then at that point, well, you should probably just like take a break. It's like, and like it sometimes it may take a while to get all those quests complete, and that's something that I'm a huge fan of. So I can imagine being something similar to that degree.
Yeah, it's a super interesting question. And the technical difficulty of doing this is actually, it's pretty significant. We don't really have that infrastructure quite yet. We could put 4 randomers in a match together, but that's less fun. And I think 2v2, you kind of want to you want to probably have your own partner, specific partner with you. But anyway, not even bringing that into consideration, the difficulty with how much we would have to do to extend the game mode and change the UI, that would be a massive challenge that we haven't put at the top of our priority list yet.
The next mini minute is going to actually focus on answering even more questions, and in a fun way. I think mini minute is obviously, as everybody can guess at this point, is not intended to be super serious. Obviously, it's intended to give you information, but it's not intended to be, let's sit down and talk about the feature for 30 minutes. And so I really wanted to kind of get more team members onto the camera, including Andy. Andy's going to show up for the second time on Mini Minute. So yeah, and also one last thing, Mini Mondays, make sure that you enter. We sort of frame up one of the best ones, best entries in the past week or two, and kind of like put them up in a permanent gallery that will maintain and for years to come, hopefully. So
Ian, I do one more thing actually, just because everyone's pinging and asking me art channel. Guys, Reddit is here now. Put your fan art on Reddit.
Exactly. Like, go crazy now. You can literally put your fan art and tag it as well. Like you can add a flare to the post and tag it as a fan art, and you can just post it there, and you're gonna get a bunch of upvotes. And I'm ready to give some awards as well. So go. Any final words on Andy's side or Trikshot?
Just the old question, when beta,
When beta, I love that one.
When beta.
I echo that one. When beta?
Yeah.
And how's beta? I see Tam was how beta.
Beta's going great.
It's great.
I think it's it's going great. So like not a huge amount of time. Probably one maximum now is 1 Venus day instead of 2 Venus days.
Excellent.
Will it release on a day that ends with Y?
Likely, I'd say very likely.
Okay, we're in good stance, everyone.
Yeah, ends with.
And it's going to release. It's going to release in a month that has more than 28 days.
Oh
wow!
Man,
that's a big one.
We know it's not coming on
so
February.
Not February.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Unless next year's a leap year, then that might.
Oh my god!
But, I don't think it is. But yeah, that's your leak. There you go, guys.
Not February confirmed. Cool.
Yeah.
I will then play us out with the jingle once again, because this is the jingle that we can only play on the stage channel. That's how the rules work. So thank you everyone for coming and for hosting us and for listening. See you.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Why are you still here?